Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and today we have a super exciting review for you guys because it is the first time since the initial review we have something from T-Rex Productions, and this is an absolutely gorgeous Allosaurus. We previously have taken a look at their Concavenator, which I absolutely loved. It was such a cool Concavenator figure, a really cool kit, and I really loved painting it, building it, and it's still a really cool piece that I actually have displayed right by where I paint. So I definitely am a fan of T-Rex Productions overall, so once I found out that they had a new Allosaurus coming out, I was definitely interested in taking a look at that one as well, and getting a hold of it, and building and painting that one, and that is exactly what you see right here before you. This is my interpretation of the T-Rex Productions Allosaurus, of course, again, built and painted by me, so when you get yours, it'll be just a raw kit. You have to put it together, you'll have to paint it up in whatever vision you have for your own Allosaurus. Personally, this is what I came up with for mine, but one thing I will say about the kit is the pieces actually go together really well. Like most times when you get a kit, you'll have a little bit of like sanding work and stuff to do. Just you have to kind of get the pieces to mesh a little better when you actually put them together and then kind of fill in the seams and stuff. And although there was a little bit of the like filling in the seams and everything, I did not have to sand anything on this kit, and even the seams were so minute and so small I almost didn't really have to do much work as far as those go either. So if you are new to resin kits and you're looking for a good kit to get into kind of building and painting dinosaurs, these T-Rex Productions kits are a really good way to go just because of that aspect. But again, it is gorgeous here just looking at it, but I'm really excited to take a closer look at it with you guys, so let's go ahead and do that right now. So starting up here at the head sculpt of the Allosaurus, you can see straight away that it is absolutely overloaded with beautiful detailing, really nice texturing to the head sculpt overall. The palate is very nicely sculpted out right there. The nostrils as well are really beautifully sculpted, and you can see a really nice scaling effect here up on the head of the Allosaurus, which is nice for dry brushing because it really helps to bring the detail out in a very realistic way when you have texturing that is as good as what you see here on the Allosaurus. The crests are beautifully displayed up here on the top of the Allosaurus, and I gave them a little bit of a hint of blue just to kind of give it a little bit of flashiness on what is otherwise a pretty dark paint scheme for the most part. I mean, there's a little bit of a light area, but there's nothing really crazy and flashy, I think, to my paint scheme, and I feel like it's a pretty realistic look for the animal. But the detail around the eye looks really good. Even like right in the actual eye socket area as well looks fantastic as far as that sculpt and detail goes. You can also see some nice detailing here on the inside of that kind of skin flap of the mouth. Same deal over here on the opposing side of the head of the Allosaurus, and you can also see just how gorgeous the sculpt and detail is over here. The teeth are really nicely present inside the mouth, really nicely sculpted. Each tooth sculpted individually, of course, which you can see the same deal here on the lower jaw as well. The teeth are all really nicely done, and I love that there's kind of lips over top of the teeth so they're not sticking out all that much. You know, if this Allosaurus closed its mouth, the teeth would not be showing due to the lips, and I really love that aspect of the figure as well. You can see the tongue is sticking out in a very dynamic fashion, which is actually very reminiscent of their Concavenator, and that's one of the things I think that was really appealing about their Concavenator. So that's almost like a little ode to the Concavenator a little bit there as far as the displaying the tongue sticking out, and I think it also looks really cool here on this Allosaurus. Moving back here into the neck, you can see some really nice sculpt and detail, kind of like some skin wrinkles going on here and there. Beautiful detailing down here on the underside of the throat, really nice texturing to the skin. Again, some more skin folds showing up here and there on the underside of the Allosaurus's throat. Coming down into the body, that really nice scale detail, that really nice skin texture continues and looks really good. You can also see the shoulder blade just ever so slightly protruding from the skin. The dinosaur is definitely a nicely fed animal. You can see that from up above. There's some pretty decent girth here in the stomach region. I think it looks nice and healthy for the most part. Coming down here into the arm, you can see some nice musculature displayed in the arm. Beautiful hand sculpt. Again, you can see the really nice scale detail throughout. And the nails are also really nicely sculpted. And they actually have some very nice minute detailing to the nails within so you can actually nicely dry brush some areas of the nails and really make those pop as well. I think the hands look great too, because it just kind of like, in general, appears as though the Allosaurus is leaping up to grab a hold of some larger prey, which I have actually spoken to the sculptor behind this line, and he has some very big plans for not only this Allosaurus, but potentially more Allosaurus and a very large sauropod that they will be attacking in the future. So that's kind of the inspiration behind this pose and exactly what's going on. So it could be part of a much larger diorama eventually. Coming back up into the stomach region, you can kind of see some skin folding and everything going on there. You can also kind of pick up on the rib cage a little bit, but not too much. Again, the animal is nicely fed. You can see the hip bone beautifully right there. Really nice scoots down the course of the hip bone. Really nice texturing of the skin. Again, as we move down into the thigh, you can see some very nice muscle tone sculpted out in the thigh region, as well as the calf. You can also see the kneecap right there in the front. Moving down that front leg, it looks really good. Beautiful, beautiful foot sculpt here. I really like the foot sculpt. Very nice scoots down the toes and everything. And again, the sculpting of this figure is just perfect for bringing out the detail really nicely and making that detail pop, because it just works so well. And I can actually give a pretty good shot here of the foot from every side due to the Allosaurus having that particular foot up so high off the ground. You can see the dew claw is present, and the actual nails here on the feet also have very similar sculpt, similar to what we saw up on the hands, where there's just a really nice amount of fine detail within the nails of the foot and the toes and everything. It's just really beautifully, beautifully sculpted. Some more kind of skin wrinkles going on down here. You can sort of just generally see how the skin is stretching off of the tail here as that leg is lifting up in the air so dynamically. Again, a really, really cool and quite unique pose on this figure, as I don't know if I've ever actually seen an Allosaurus model or kit or anything with this exact positioning of the Allosaurus kind of leaping up off of one leg to take down some prey. But you can see again, the texturing of the skin is absolutely gorgeous as we lead out the length of this tail, and the tail is really quite long, has a really nice curve to it as you head out the entire length of the tail of the Allosaurus. Again, looking over here at this side, the head sculpt is phenomenal in every possible way. Just such a really gorgeous sculpt on the Allosaurus' head. But then as you lead back into the neck, you can see the skin really nicely stretching here as the Allosaurus has its head turned in both a left direction as well as kind of going up into the air a little bit. So you can really nicely see how the skin is kind of playing off of that movement. Again, the really nice skin here and the detailing in the underside of the throat, a little bit of hanging skin, looks really, really good. And then coming back here into the body, just like on the previous side, you could sort of make out the shoulder blade just a little bit right there. Really nicely sculpted arm, similar in sculpt in detail to the opposing side, because the arm is almost in a neutral position. I mean, kind of like it's almost in exactly the same position as what we see on the opposing side, but just ever so slightly different. But again, detail-wise, it looks just as good as the arm on the opposing side. Nice musculature and everything displayed. On this side, we could see a little bit more of the stomach region due to this leg being kind of pulled back as the Allosaurus is leaping up into the air. You can see this knee is sort of in the way a little bit over here, but this side, you could definitely make out more detailing in the stomach region, more nice skin folding and everything going on, and really nice skin texturing throughout the entire stomach region of the Allosaurus. It looks great. We have, again, those scoots down the hip area of the Allosaurus. Beautifully displayed musculature as we move down the thigh, down into the calf as well. You can really see that calf muscle flexing over here on this side because, again, the Allosaurus is using this leg primarily to leap up off of the ground and try to take down its prey. And you can really see, again, the nice realism displayed in the sculpt as far as that leg flexing. Beautiful foot sculpt over here, kind of like I really like the bending of the skin here in the foot because it's got a pretty sharp curve right here due to the jump that's currently occurring, and I like how he's displayed that in the sculpting of the foot. Really nice scoot-like appearance. Once again down the toes, and you can see the opposing side of that foot here on this side. Really, really nice. You've got the dew claw once again. Really gorgeous sculpt and detail in every area of this Allosaurus. Moving back into the tail, you can see again some more skin folds, some more really nice skin texturing here on the underside of the Allosaurus, and just an absolutely beautiful looking tail sculpt. Very nice majestic curve to it. It's just an ever so slight curve. Very realistic, I think, and it also goes in sort of an upward fashion, again, also helping the Allosaurus to balance when it's currently jumping up like this. So really, really beautiful sculpt. I love the dynamic pose. I love every ounce of detail on this. You can even see kind of like some musculature here in the chest of the Allosaurus and some more skin folds and everything. here on the underside, as well as some fantastic scale detail. But again, I love the pose of this. I think it is just the coolest positioning for the animal, and I'm really excited to see the potential future diorama that will be included. And then as far as the base goes that is included with the Allosaurus, you can see a really nice earthy area here that the Allosaurus is running upon. You can also see the footprint of the Allosaurus right there. It looks really, really good, and the Allosaurus actually, his foot fits perfectly within this. And you can also see a very small kind of peg sticking up, and that is to help to put your Allosaurus on and balance him out within that peg. However, the peg is pretty small, so my recommendation would be to probably glue the Allosaurus on. That's definitely what I'm going to be doing with mine. But of course, I did not want to do that until I actually had a chance to really show off this base and everything to you guys. But you can see, again, a really nice earthy area to the base. This is, of course, how I painted mine. You can paint yours however you would like. You have kind of like it almost looks like a rocky ledge here on the edges of the base, so I kind of tried to make it look like it's like in a little earthy area, maybe like a mountain leading up to a ledge here or something along those lines. So I kind of painted this more like it's like the rocky ledge type look overall. But again, a gorgeously sculpted base. You can see it looks fantastic in every angle. It's a really, really nicely sculpted base, pretty much as highly detailed as the Allosaurus itself, and really helps to complete the overall scene. But as far as the entire set together, this is phenomenal. And then just like I had stated, this is, again, a little peg right here. It's meant to hold your Allosaurus on there. You can also see a hole here on the underside of the foot. So then you would just slide that peg into the foot, which is a little hard to do this when I'm not able to see it too well looking through the camera. And there we go. Our Allosaurus is balanced on the base. But again, I've had so many kits fall over in the past and break that the balancing on one foot trick that it's currently doing here, I personally will not be trusting because I don't want it to fall and break, especially with how gorgeous this is. So I will definitely be gluing my Allosaurus on the base. As far as a size goes on our Allosaurus, it definitely has some pretty good size overall. So for a length, you are looking at just shy of 11 inches. So about 10 3/4 inches in that range somewhere, or about 27.5 centimeters for a length. For a height, the Allosaurus is standing up in a pretty upright position, again leaping up into the air, creating that really cool dynamic pose. And you'll see that area come in at about 6.5 inches, maybe a little more, or about 16.5 centimeters. For a size comparison, there is Mr. Papo T-Rex, the Attack Pack Allosaurus, and Robert Muldoon from the Mattel Jurassic World toy line next to our T-Rex Productions Allosaurus, and you can get a pretty good idea of the size of the kit overall. Again, a really, really nicely sized model kit, and you can see that next to Mr. Papo Rex, who is a pretty big figure himself, but I would say it's definitely like a medium size approaching large. Maybe actually I would say it's probably about a large size Allosaurus. It definitely has some pretty good size overall for sure. And for another size comparison, here is the absolutely beautiful T-Rex Productions Concavenator next to the T-Rex Productions Allosaurus. Again, the Concavenator is definitely a little bit bigger than the Allosaurus, but both are incredibly gorgeous models, and definitely a very high recommendation from me if you are interested in picking up any model kits. And actually, as a special thank you, T-Rex Productions is currently offering a free gift if you order the Allosaurus, which you can see from this image right here of a really cool Spinosaurus t-shirt that I received with my purchase of the Allosaurus kit. So again, if you are interested in having an incredibly awesome Spinosaurus t-shirt, make sure you get on ordering this Allosaurus in the very, very near future. So this T-Rex Productions Allosaurus resin kit is an absolutely beautiful resin kit. Definitely a great recommendation from me. Something that even if you are a veteran of creating and building and painting resin kits, or if you are brand new to resin kits, this is a great choice regardless. Especially if you are new to resin kits, it's a good choice just because the pieces fit together so smoothly. There's not going to be too much actual work you'll have to do as far as building. Painting, of course, is a different story. That's all on you. But building it, I think T-Rex Productions helps to take a lot of the work out of it for you. You'll need to do a little bit, but not near as much as you normally would with a lot of other resin kits that I've dealt with in the past. But if you have been building and painting model kits for a long time, this is another great option because the Allosaurus is extremely highly detailed. It has an absolutely gorgeous sculpt overall, really cool pose on the model as well with it leaping up in the air. It's very different than most Allosaurus kits that you'll tend to see, especially with that kind of jumping up in the air, very dynamic positioning of the body. It's such a cool pose and really creates a really cool looking model overall, something that I feel like is very striking, kind of a head turner. And that seems to be kind of the theme with T-Rex Productions, as that's sort of the same way I feel about their Concavenator previously. They just have really striking looking models, and this Allosaurus is no different in any way, shape, or form. Of course, the paint job on mine was specific to me. This is what I came up with as far as my paint job goes. It's what I kind of saw looking at the Allosaurus and what I thought would look good on the Allosaurus, and I feel like it turned out pretty good. Hopefully you guys like the paint job, and you'll have to let me know in the comments your thoughts on the paint job. But as far as the painting of your model, if you do purchase one, that's half the fun of resin kits, because you have the opportunity to kind of create something in your vision and make your figure look exactly how you would like it to look paint wise. And I think it's always an absolute blast painting a resin kit, and this one was no different. And with detail as good as this, the figure almost paints itself. It's so beautiful. Again, for this Allosaurus, it is only $55 US, and that is not including shipping. You have to, of course, pay shipping costs. But on top of getting this fantastic Allosaurus resin kit for a really good price, because that's actually a great price for a resin kit, you also get the free gift, but I think the free gift might be only for a limited time. So my suggestion is probably getting on ordering this ASAP if you are in fact interested, so it doesn't sell out as far as that gift goes before you have the opportunity to buy it, and you can get yourself that really cool Spinosaurus t-shirt. But otherwise, again, I will include a link in the description to T-Rex Productions on Facebook, where you can contact them to place an order for this fantastic Allosaurus kit, or you can contact me if you do not have social media, and I can contact them for you. Either way, my recommendation for anybody that is even remotely interested in this, stop thinking about it, just order yourself this beautiful Allosaurus and enjoy building and painting this beautiful resin kit. But before you go doing all that, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.